Good afternoon. Today we're going to start with the modifiers for the GMAT. So based on the previous classes, I have already given the introduction on the GMAT. So today we'll start with the modifier. So before I explain what is a modifier is, I would like to give us a few steps to understand the sentence supremacy. The first step is to whatever you do not rewrite the sentence in your head. Train yourself to find the grammatical mistake. That's what we're going to do in the classes. So get rid of the choices that have the same grammatical flow as the original sentence. So this is a step which you need to follow effectively. Use the POE, that's a process of elimination. If you are down to the two choices, find the flow in the wrong one. So if when you are down with the two choices, we'll read those options thoroughly and I'll try to find out the wrong one. So the common ETS goof, which we generally have, are misplaced modifiers, the improper pronouns, incorrect idioms, the changing the verb and tense unnecessarily, and parallel construction as well, and comparing the apples and oranges. And the last thing is subject-verb agreement. So these are the common ETS problems we face. Now let's start with the modifier today. So what are the modifiers? Modifiers are any phrase or word that adds a description as a modifier. That's known as a modifier. So there are three types of modifier we have, like the adjectives, the appositives, and the prepositional phrase. There is a common rule which we need to follow. The common rule is a very simple rule, which is a modifier phrase must be placed next to the word that is referring to. All right. So let's quickly start the session. Okay, so our first question, this is a question, I'm going to solve the question, I'll explain all the steps, and in the meantime, you can also solve it accordingly. So the first thing is, first question, while dams can be helpful in producing electricity and controlling the flow of water in the river, leading to a more consistent availability of water, they prevent silt from flowing to the downstream lands, which are essential for renewing the minerals and nutrition that makes the land fertile. So this is a question. We'll not read the options. What we're going to do is that our first step is to understand the meaning of the sentence. So as we understand, these dams are good because they help us to produce electricity. Let me annotate that for you. So the first thing is that dams are helpful in producing electricity. So that's the first thing we have. And controlling the flow of water in the river, leading to a more consistent availability of the water. However, they prevent silt from flowing to the downstream lands. So there is a contraction, there is a but, you can use but they prevent silt from flowing to the downstream land. Then silt is important and preventing silt is bad. So they say which are essential for renewing the minerals and the nutrition. So silt is important and preventing silt is bad. Why silt is important? Why it is important? It is important because it's needed for renewing the minerals and the nutrition. And why the minerals and nutrition are important? Why they are needed? They are minerals and nutrition. They are needed because they keep the land fertile. So silt. So we have silt. We have the minerals and the nutrition, and we have the land fertile. So silt are essential for renewing the minerals and the nutrition that makes the land fertile. Okay. All right. So we are done with the understanding the meaning of the sentence. Now let's what the second step? Our second step is to vertically scan through the options looking for a difference. What we'll do is that we'll not read the options, but however we'll scan the options and find out the errors. Try to find out the differences, not the errors, but the differences. Okay, so if I look at the option A, what are the differences we find in this with the rest of things? The common differences I get are is, so, and is, are, is. So these are the common differences I got. Now, this is the this is the our modifier. So let me underline the modifier as well. From the subject, the subject is silt. So let me remove the modifier. Let me try to underline the modifier as well. So that will help me to solve the question effectively. Okay. So I have removed the modifier. Now, not removed, I have underlined the modifier. So what we're gonna do is that let's look at the option A. In the option A, we have the subject which is silt from the downstream land. So our first rule is to make sure that the subject is placed next to the it's placed next to the word that is referring to. So this is the reference, is the modifier, but however it's referring to the downstream land. So clearly it's incorrect because subject is placed far from the downstream land. So downstream land is this, we are the reference subject modifier to be placed next to the silt. So silt has to be placed here. So however the sentence is, that's the reason the sentence is incorrect. So A is incorrect. So quickly we'll look for the similar pattern. So similar pattern, yeah, downstream land, yeah, this one. B. Again, we also have the downstream land. So downstream land is incorrect here because we are not talking about the, we're talking about the silt, not the downstream land. So clearly we can remove A and D. So that's the second step. We are done with the second step. We find the differences and we are trying to eliminate the common error we have. So we are done. The next step is to keep using one difference after the other to eliminate your options, which will start with the familiar rule. So that's simply the POE, the process of elimination. The process of elimination over here will keep using one differences after the other and will eliminate the options. And okay, so let's look into the option B over here. Option B, we have the silt, there's the subject, is placed near to the modifier. I don't think any other problem over here. So I'll keep this. I'll move into this option C. The option C, the downstream lands from this, again, silt is also present here. Okay, it's next to the modifier. So I don't find problem here. Nutrition making the land fertile for renewing is a reason for renewing the minerals, and nutrition making the land fertile. So there is a problem over here. This word making, it's talking about the cause and the effect problem, but however we are not talking about the cause and the effect here. So I think the sentence is wrong. This making makes the sentence look like its prevention has increased and the infertility of the land. It makes the prevention has increased the infertility of the land. So it clearly, this making word is cause and effect problem. So we eliminate this as well. So this one is also eliminated. So we are left with the B and E. Let's jump into the option E. Option E, we have the silt, which is essential for renewing, is placed next to the modifier. Okay, perfect. Over here also we find is making and to renewing. No, to renewing. When we have the to, will not be followed by a verb in the ing form. Okay, it never follows the to with the ing form. So clearly we will also eliminate this one. And it's also that's an incorrect construction over here. Now is making. Is making that is also incorrect. Okay, so the silt is essential and making the land fertile, minerals and the nutrients. So they're talking about the two things. Silt is essential to renewing the minerals and the nutrition, and is making the land fertile. So silt, they're talking about the silt, which is also making the land fertile. But however, only the minerals and nutrition are making the land fertile, not the silt. So clearly, this sentence is incorrect because the meaning is a bit ambiguous and it's not correct. So we are left with the option B. So our right answer would be option B. All right. So this is how we solve the modifier sentence conclusion questions.